and welcome to Boardgame Ninja. Tonight the streets of New York are burning. 4 powerful factions are battling for control of Manhattan, Queens and Brooklyn. Each with their own agenda, each with their own rules. Build your influence across the city, stoke the flames of chaos and prepare for mayhem when things get real nasty. The different factions, Grendel, Police, Mob and Argent, all play completely differently. They fight, scheme and drop aggression tokens into one of 3 towers. When a tower collapses, a mayhem begins. The factions clash in one district. Once all 3 towers fall, the game ends. The player with the most points wins the game. Grendel is for 2 to 4 players, takes about 30 minutes per player and is recommended for players aged 14 and up. The map is double-sided. One side is for 2 or 3 players and the other is for 4. Place it in the center of the table. Load each of the 3 towers with the correct counterweight, based on your player count. Make sure the color of the tower matches the district. Manhattan, Queens or Brooklyn. Each faction has its own unique components marked by color. You get a player board, a deck of cards and a set of aggression tokens. They come in 3 values, 3, 2 and 1. And here's the twist. Tokens worth less aggression are heavier and more likely to trigger a mayhem when dropped. Each faction has additional components and we'll cover those in their own sections. Set up the board according to the number of players and which factions are being used. Even in games with fewer than 4 players, you'll still place pieces of all factions onto the map. Place your scoring marker on 0. Shuffle your faction deck and draw 2 cards. Determine a starting player and give the starting player marker to that player. You're ready to begin. All factions have unique abilities, but the game structure is the same. Each round has 2 phases, planning and mayhem. In the planning phase, you try to gain presence in different spaces across the city using figures and influence. Figures are captains and grunts. Influence varies by faction. This action lets you drop aggression into one of the towers. Eventually, the weight causes a tower to fall. That triggers the Mayhem Phase in the associated district, in which you spend your aggression. We will come back to this later as we explain about the Mayhem Phase. Once everyone has spent their aggression points, the next round starts with the planning phase again. Grendel is a one-man nightmare. He has no grunts, just himself. He scores points by spreading fear across the map. Every space that has a fear token during mayhem is worth a point to him. On your turn, draw 3 chits from your bag and place them one by one on any of the 3 tracks on your board: Hunter Rose, Shock Fork or Speed. Each chit activates the icon below the space where you place it and all icons to the left of that space in any order. If the chit matches the track, you also trigger a kicker effect, like tossing aggression into a tower where you have presence. Once you place the 4th chit on a track, you unlock an upgrade. Remove one of the chits on that track from the game. Then choose 2 upgrades and mix them back into your bag along with the remaining 3 chits from the track. The track resets, but now your bag is stronger. Upgrade chits count as every color always trigger kickers and have a bonus icon in the center. Some let you destroy enemy influence, flip tokens or draw 1 card. A single punch removes a grunt. 3 punches are needed to destroy a captain, though final captains can only be relocated, not removed. Either way, you still get your reward. The reward for punching a grunt is that you place a fear token in its space. If you run ever out of fear tokens, you can relocate 1 already on the board. The mob comes in numbers and scores points during mayhem in every district where they have at least 2 different mob pieces out of 3. Captains, grunts or corruption. Each turn, roll 4 dice and assign 3 of them to slots on your board. You can use any die to recruit, drawing a card and deploying a captain with 4 grunts. Divide them along spaces where you already have presence. Run the Racket lets you activate all visible icons in that row. Only 2 icons are revealed at the start of the game. These actions let you draw a card and turn a die to any face. More options unlock as you place corruption tokens. Committing crimes requires placing dice with matching icons. Patrol lets you move a captain up to 3 spaces, dropping off or picking up grunts. Extort places corruption where you have presence. Take the token from the Run the Racket row so the action becomes more powerful. Clean up degrades enemy influence and lets you throw aggression into a tower. And Bribe allows you to manipulate a die that you haven't used yet and to toss aggression into a tower. When you have unlocked upgrades, you can place a token during Run the Racket to boost an action, deploying extra units, drawing more cards, placing additional corruption, or others. The police maintain order through numbers. They score any space where they have more pieces than any other faction. But like everyone else, if 3 or more factions are present, no one scores. They control 2 patrol cars on a rondel. The patrol cars start at random on the first 3 places on the board. On your turn, move 1 car 1 or 2 spaces clockwise. Activate all the icons in that wedge. Deploy new figures, place wagon tokens, your influence, draw cards, add aggression, or move captains. When your 2 cars are adjacent, you can make an arrest. To arrest, target any piece in the same space as one of your own, as long as it's not the last captain of that faction. Place that piece in an empty jail on your board. Each arrested piece improves a specific action. For example, if you have arrested a figure in this row, you can place an extra grunt when you use that action. You can only arrest 1 piece per faction. If you arrest a second, you must release the first to a space where you have presence. The newly arrested piece must go to a different jail than the one released. Whenever a patrol car crosses the white line on the rondel, you gain an upgrade. Choose which wedge gets a new icon. That wedge becomes stronger for the rest of the game. Argent is a daredevil and pushes his luck all the time. He scores for each space in the Mayhem district that contains an ambush token, and not if 3 factions are present. On your turn, flip over 1 action card. Most cards show an action you'll be able to use later when you have stopped drawing, but some show also danger in the form of skulls. You then choose, do you stop or do you keep drawing? If you keep going, flip another card. But beware, if you ever reveal 4 skulls across all face-up cards, you bust. When that happens, you must discard cards until only 3 or fewer skulls remain. You also flip your bonus tile face down. No bonus aggression for you this turn. When you have stopped, you get to perform every action on the cards you've drawn in any order. These actions let you punch grunts, degrade influence tokens, move across the map, and place ambush tokens, your version of influence, wherever you strike. And your bonus tile is still face up, so you may throw aggression into their tower. Once per turn, you have a way to hedge your bets. You may banish 1 card you've just drawn. Place it on the special slot at the top of your board. Its skulls no longer count toward your bust total, but its ability is also lost. At the end of your turn, it slides right, making room for a new card. Banish too many cards and you'll lock up some of your best actions until the next Mayhem. When performing the actions, you can also decide to place 1 of your cards on your board and do that action instead. One is upgrading. Take 1 of the 3 face-up cards in the upgrade row and place it on top of your draw pile. Decide if you want to remove a card from your discard pile out of the game. Argent's game is about timing, calculated risk, and knowing when to push or quit. If you quit too soon, you miss out on potential. Push too far and you bust. But when it works, You hit hard, vanish, and leave nothing but chaos in your wake. There are 3 mayhem phases in a game, 1 for each tower. When a tower falls, the player who triggered it takes the counterweight. From this point on, no one may add aggression to that tower. Then the player finishes their turn. Make sure every player has had at least 1 turn this round. If not, let the remaining players complete a turn before starting mayhem. Lift the tower to reveal the aggression tokens. Each player reclaims their own tokens and moves their aggression marker to the matching value. Starting with the player who triggered mayhem, everyone takes turns spending exactly 3 aggression. You repeat this process until everyone runs out. During mayhem, you can punch, degrade, move, or play cards, each action costing aggression. Punching a grunt costs 1 aggression. Captains require 3 to punch. You cannot remove a faction's last captain, but you still get the reward and relocate it instead. Each faction gets a different reward from destroying a piece. Grendel places fear, Argent draws cards or flips tokens, Mob gains movement, and Police deploy wagons. Degrading a token costs 2 aggression. Unshielding tokens are destroyed, shielded ones are flipped. Rewards vary by faction and can include additional tokens, punches, or movement. You can also play a card, paying the aggression cost in the corner. Cards can only be played during mayhem. Moving costs 1 aggression, but movement rules differ per faction. Argent can jump to ambush tokens. Grendel moves through fear. The mob and police transport their figures with captains. Once your aggression hits 0, you score immediately. 1 point per valid space based on your faction's condition. If 3 factions are present in a space, no one scores it, except in a 4-player game. Then only spaces with all 4 factions do not score. After all players score, the next planning phase starts. Unless the last tower just fell, then it's time for final scoring. Score the other 2 districts 1 more time. That lingering ambush or forgotten fear token might win you the game. Whoever has the most points wins. So that's how you play Grendel. Each faction not only plays differently, they rise and fall on different rhythms. Grendel might start slow, but flood the board with fear by the end. The police cannot be everywhere at once. Argent gambles for his moment. And the mob, they're everywhere. Until they're not. We hope you enjoy playing Grendel as much as we do. Subscribe to Boardgame Ninja for more deep dive rules explainers and other board game content. And we'll see you next time. Bye!